Hello everyone. Today in this podcast, we have Mr. Suresh Sambandam, founder of a SaaS company called Kissflow. He is also the founder of Dream Tamil Nadu.
I couldn't go to college at all. So actually my last official, formal education is 12th standard. Right? So the nearest bookshop is in Pondicherry and you have to take a cycle and go 20 kilometers. But I used to buy a book of 400, 500 pages and read it in 3 days.
Incident or an anecdote where you really felt down and a very challenging situation.
If you don't make sense, you don't have money.
Right.
So we ran out of money. So I had to sell my car.
Oh.
So I had my Innova car at the time. So I sold my car. I got some 5 lakhs, and again paid the salaries for that month. My wife's jewels and all in bank, got the money. Everything, literally no assets are there in the family. Luckily, on that month after that I sold the Innova car.
Welcome. Today in this podcast, we have Mr. Suresh Sambandam, who is the founder of a SaaS company called Kissflow. It is one of the top 10 SaaS companies of India. And he is also the founder of Dream Tamil Nadu, which is a policy think tank which aims to assist various institutions and the government in achieving a $1 trillion economy for Tamil Nadu in the next 5 to 10 years. So welcome, Suresh, to the show.
You.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so it's wonderful to have you here. So please give us a brief journey of yours, as to where you grew up and what did you do and what brought you to the entrepreneurship journey.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Kadalur. So that's my native place, born and brought up in Kadalur. It's just like it's a small town. It used to be a sleepy town. It's like some 20 kilometers from Pondicherry. I say this because everybody knows Pondicherry really well. So for all the good reasons, people. So that's where I grew up. And my entrepreneurship journey is a very accidental one. I started, I finished.
Sorry to interrupt, but why don't you tell us about your childhood also?
Childhood, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going there. So I finished my school in Kadalur, 12th standard. After that, I had to decide which college to go and all of that stuff. And for some reason, I couldn't go to college at all. So my last official, formal education is 12th standard.
Oh, that is news. I know Suresh for the last 5 years, but that's a great inspirational story of a 12th pass out. We talk about Bill Gates and others who are college dropouts. Here is a man who has not gone to college and done so much in life. Yeah, please continue.
But I also want to set the expectation that there is also this wrong notion that colleges don't add value. They don't have to. People sometimes see people like me and then take the wrong takeaways.
Understood.
See, I actually feel if I've gone to college, I've probably done better, right? So, but me not going to college was purely some family situations. I couldn't go to college, but I was handling my father's business. He was into real estate. We used to buy large parcels of land and divide into plots and sell it. So, but that gave me a lot of street experience.
Right.
Because when I was 17 years old, I had to go to court or police station to file complaint against people who encroach in our property. And I used to be this boy, we were wearing half trouser and go to a police station, and the police guy, the SI will say what do you want, right? So I'll say I have to file a complaint. He will literally laugh at me.
Right.
Because he hasn't seen, kids come and do those kind of stuff, right? Because people are afraid of going to a police station. But I never knew much later in my life, these are the things that will help me make me as a great person. And of course, I need to thank my father. I used to hate him for pushing me into all these not so interesting part of life. I thought at that time, because all my friends were all playing and having fun, and I'm actually here doing some real serious stuff. But later, it helped me lay the great foundation for my own personal, because I learned street knowledge, which is very important, and I know how to deal with life. I know how to deal with ups and downs. I know how to face people really well, and I completely came out of fear. Right? I don't have inhibitions. I don't have, and I can get up on a stage and talk about it, ask questions, challenge people. These are all really life skills, right? And I learned that from 17 years, and thanks to my father actually. So that is how I started. So somewhere along the line, we were like 5-6 people in my town. See, if you really go back to those days, like boys and girls are segregated completely, right? There is boys' school separately and there is girls' school separately. In fact,
Co-education
there is no co-education, right?
was a rarity even
that
in
too
a
in
city like
towns,
Chennai.
and that too in, even in Chennai, it was
Yes,
taboo.
yes.
Think about Kadalur, right? It is like it's a much different experience. I still remember, and still it is true in Kadalur. I think men's college is called Arts College, Kadalur Arts College. I think it's called Tahur Arts College. I think it's near the beach.
Right.
It is like 7 kilometers or something from the center of the town. And women's college is called Kandasamy Naidu College. It is 7 kilometer this side of the town.
Okay,
So it's
so there was
literally like women's college and men's college are 15 kilometers away, right? You know, so it's that kind of segregation. So there is no coffee day, or there is no Starbucks or anything like that where people,
Can
the boys and girls, and get together, right? The only place that people can meet is a typewriting institute. Those are the like a hangout places, right? So my bunch of my friends and all of us decided that we will, yeah, just go find the people and just meet the people. Where there's no other motivation. Okay, the motivation is not to learn typewriting. That's just the side. But that owner, he actually bought the first computer in Kadalur.
oh, that's nice.
So that's where my whole
Yeah, so I was wanting to ask you how the shift from
Yeah.
a
So
hardcore real estate, more
yeah.
thug kind of thing to
Exactly. It's actually thug life only.
Yeah.
Morning, if you see me, I'll be like wearing lungi and all that stuff. There's no shorts or track pants those days, right? And go along with the brokers to find land in the morning. It's like 6 o'clock I start. That's a thug life.
right.
And evening, if you go, you'll be sitting in front of the. So anyway, coming back, that owner bought this computer, first computer, Sterling Shiva PC.
Mm-hmm.
Sterling Shiva,
Right.
He actually he had a factory in OMR, so he bought the first PC, and he was pitching to us. If you're doing typewriting for 30 rupees, you pay 50 rupees per month. This is all per month fees, right? So you can do programming, learn computers. Our boys had a different plan. They basically said, if you pay typewriting 1 hour, if you pay for computer also, we can be there in 2 hours. so it's a hangout place, right? You need a reason to hang out. And that's how we started. I learned the basic and then all of that. But then I actually got completely hijacked by the power of programming. I got really sucked into it. So I used to go to the institute, we call the institute, odd times, because nobody will be there, because it's a time shared computer. If it's a batch of 6 people, we go 1 hour, you get 10 minutes on the computer, right? But I was so passionate about it, so I need like 5 hours, 4 hours. So I go 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Nobody will be there.
Right.
It will be like hot sun, and that is how I started learning, and then I became an expert in programming. All learnt on my own. Yeah, and those days there was not even a library in Kadalur. When I say library, I mean for computer science. There's no books in library. I mean, there is a library in Kadalur, but there's no books for that. So there's no proper computer science bookshops, right? So the nearest bookshop is in Pondicherry, and you have to take a cycle and go 20 kilometers. And there they will actually sell books in US dollars. Because the books used to get imported from US, McGraw-Hill, This was pre-Tata McGraw-Hill days, right? So then McGraw-Hill put a joint venture with Tata. Then there is an Indian editions came. But before that, McGraw-Hill directly used to Tata out of it, right? So it doesn't say $40, and then that guy will take $40 into 40 rupees, that's 1,600. So I used to buy books for 800, 900, 1,600 in 91, right? This was like I was 19 years old or something like that at that time. So now I don't see people buying books even for 500 rupees in today's value. See, in 1,600 rupees in 91 is probably worth 50,000 today, or probably more, right? And but that's what I used to say, like that 50,000 or that 1,600 is probably many hundred crores today, right? In terms of my value of the company. So that's the kind of investment I was able to make on my own, and then that I was become so passionate.
So you did not have any mentor or nobody in the sense.
I had one teacher,
Right,
who taught me the first 2 languages.
okay, but the rest of it was all self-learned.
All self-learned. I used to buy a book of 400, 500 pages and read it in 3 days.
Okay, and then go and try and attempt it. By
trial and error. I just built
there was no internet, there was no YouTube tutorials,
There
nothing.
is no internet, there is no YouTube, only books, printed books.
Yeah. We didn't even have phones for that matter,
There's no
only
phones.
landlines. Yeah, you can't even call anybody.
I didn't have a landline at home, I think.
Right.
I think maybe we just got the landline.
Okay.
Because there was OYT scheme.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It used to take 2-3 years for even getting a
own
landline.
your own telephone.
Yes. Anyways.
And you need to get the MP recommendation to get a telephone. So anyway, coming back. So that is how I learned programming, and I got really passionate. So I wanted to do something in programming. So I first started my company when I was very young.
Okay. That's
First company.
wonderful.
In Kadalur.
So
So that is how I got into
entrepreneurship. But just to for the benefit of the viewers, so was having a businessman father made your journey easy in the sense that okay, I want to start a business, because your father was himself a businessman, so he felt that okay, he is also taking up entrepreneurship, so let me support him, or at least let me not stop him. Does that help? Because many service people who are in work or in jobs, they still dissuade their children from taking up entrepreneurship. So
it was not easy actually. My father did not actually support me.
okay,
My father has a unique background. So he was doing this real estate business on the side. He used to work for LIC
okay,
as a branch manager or
okay. So it was just a
side
part-time
work for him, and he needed somebody to take care of it. And he is also a hardcore unionist. And he worked. He was 25 years in Communist Party in CITU, and he was like anti-computerization, right? So he's like he goes on the streets and says, "Don't automate, don't take away the jobs." And here I am actually starting to do computer science programs.
War of ideology in the house.
Clearly ideologies, and he never supported me on this one. So I learned a lot of good things from my father, but definitely. But this is not something that he wanted me to do, and I wanted 25,000 from him. He didn't give it initially, but reluctantly he gave little later. But of course I got that money back and all of that stuff. But yeah, it wasn't help. It didn't help. I wouldn't call my father as a hardcore businessman.
Right, understood.
That is
Understood. Now I understand.
Yeah, if like for example, I'm encouraging my son to become on the business side because I consider myself on the entrepreneurship track. That is my main track.
Absolutely, understood.
But I think for him it was not the main track, and that is why he was not able to appreciate it.
So tell us about your first business.
So first we started doing a training center in Kadalur.
Right. Okay.
The first training center. So I started teaching.
Oh, wonderful.
And I was very young. And fourth year college students used to come and learn from me because they had a paper that they have to clear and they bunked it and they had arrears. And this will be like 3 years elder to me or 2 years elder to me, but I will be teaching them. So that is when I really understood I'm good at it. I'm really good at it. And
teaching requires only knowledge, not age.
So it was really good. I love teaching. I love teaching and educating people. And
you learn more as a teacher than as a student.
Because you don't want to be challenged. You don't want to be wrong. You want to get on the stage. So you work hard
Absolutely.
to get on the stage, right? So I learned a lot during that process, and then we ran it for 3-4 years. We developed some software also, and that is the first time I actually met the Kevin Care family.
Okay.
They are also from Kadalur.
Yes, yes.
so,
Okay.
so I went and sold software to one of their units. I told CKR after a very long. He couldn't have remembered.
Right.
So we went there. It's called Pondi Personal Care.
Okay,
I think
okay.
So that is where we first sold some
Yeah,
software.
he was a pioneer in his own right in
Yeah.
terms of.
Those are the times where that velvet shampoo, chick shampoo, and all was grooming in Kadalur, because it is a huge small scale industries boom in Kadalur. Right? So we did all of that. We did some CNC programming. I learned some hardcore technologies like Unix, C++, assembly language programming, systems, device drivers, antivirus, virus, creating viruses, all those kind of very, very hardcore technical stuff. So and then he ran it for 4 years, and then after that it wasn't going anywhere big. So and then I thought I'll go to do something more formal, and then I went to Bangalore. That was my big break.
You started a software company.
No. I actually started working.
Okay.
So I finished this, and then I thought, I'm not yet fully like knowing the art of software engineering.
Right.
See, programming is different from software engineering.
Understood.
It is like programming is like tinkering, but software engineering is a discipline which you do systematically how to build software. And I actually learned that process in HP. HP is my first big break. Hewlett Packard. A lot of people do not know. Like people talk about Google culture, Apple culture, and all of this. Those cultures were inherited from HP.
And just going aside, so many of these big companies will have a minimum educational qualification for hiring people. So all that was open, and you were still hired.
I was hired because in the background I've studied commerce, BCom, in correspondence. So I had some sort of degree, but not a computer science degree. So HP had this culture, they don't look at degree, and it's only a 3-year degree, not a computer science, not an engineering degree also.
Right.
But they only looked for talent in the interview. So that is what the HP culture talks about. So sometimes they even hired people with arrears.
Don't judge the certificate, but the person.
And they hired me, and I should really owe a lot to HP because that was a turning point.
Okay.
And then I actually started, not just I got a good job in an area which is very unique. It's the area called rule-based computing.
Okay.
Rule engines, what we call as artificial intelligence today, these are all like precursors, like early versions of, artificial intelligence, we call it. Like it's like inference engines, meaning it's all too technical. Inference engines are the very basic version. So I got my first project was in the inference engine, rule engine space. What happened was that actually became the basis for my entire next 25 years, because even Kissflow has a rule engine underneath. So I actually started specializing in rule engine. So I worked in HP for 4 years, and then worked for a US based company. I left HP and then joined another US based company. That another 4 years. That's also a rule engine company. And then I started Kissflow, which is also at the core is a rule engine.
So you started it in Chennai.
Yeah.
So that time software related everything was the Silicon Valley of Bangalore. So I know you are from Tamil Nadu and your roots are here, but do you think that what made you not decide to start it in Bangalore but come to Chennai?
I actually felt one of the best decisions I made is to come to Chennai.
Okay.
Because I actually felt really alien in Bangalore. It's a good place, but I didn't feel it's my place, right? And I don't normally get excited by infrastructure or the weather is good. Those kind of these are all very superficial, comforts. But I really wanted to feel the inner connection. The inner connection with, and that's the same feeling I have with America as well. America is like much more developed and all of that, but when I go to America, I don't feel the inner connection with America. I just like to go there to spend 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but then I always want to come back. So I never had the inner connection with Bangalore, right? So I had to, I came back.
And that was the time the title parks and other things, and
was
the
happening.
software related stuff was.
But still, Bangalore was way ahead, right? Chennai was not there, but still, I went ahead of the tide. But on hindsight, that was the best decision because, see, if you were in Bangalore, you were 10 among one,
Okay, yeah,
right? You get lost in the crowd. You don't have your own identity. You don't have a differentiation. And if you come to Chennai, you're one among nobody, right? So like nobody's doing something like what I'm doing. So you get the special attention. You get to get recognized.
absolutely,
All of that.
So you started your SaaS company straight away, or was
No,
it
no, I
something
worked for
else?
4 years.
No, understand. When you started,
No, after in Chennai, I also worked for 4 years. So 4 years in Bangalore, 4 years.
4 years in Chennai, but after that, your first company, again, your own company was right from day one a SaaS company, or
It's not a
something?
SaaS company. It was a software company. It's a product company because SaaS itself came for people who don't know SaaS. Maybe I can also tell a little bit about it. So SaaS itself came only around 2010. Before that, there's only software. People buy software. Like for example, you pay like 10,000 and buy Tally and use accounting, and then you feel you own Tally, like you have owned. But what changed with SaaS is you changed the paradigm from owning a software towards subscribing for use. So SaaS stands for software as a subscription or a software as a service, right? So you pay it like an internet service or like a telephone service or a water service
Or a cab service.
or a cab service when you pay for usage.
Right. But though the products that are taken on lease or hire
Yeah.
are developed by the company.
Companies.
Okay.
Exactly. But except that they are not selling it.
Understood.
like
But
a one-time
so
sale.
it's a product company
It's a product company.
which
So,
offers the product on service.
service. But we initially sold it like any other
Understood.
product. So we started in 2004 till 2010-11. We sold it like a regular software, like one-time sale.
Yes. Yes.
Right? It's called lifetime perpetual license. It's called a perpetual license. Then we switched to SaaS model, which is a pay per subscription. If you pay for it, you can use it. If you don't need it, you can close it. You can cancel it.
Right.
So pay for use model. That's what SaaS stands for. Pay for software as a service. And after that, we completely changed to the SaaS paradigm.
So in this journey of the last 20 years, close to 20 years, so share some insights, some anecdotes where you feel, felt, yes, it's a great thing that you've done, or where, because an entrepreneur's journey is filled with ups and downs.
Yeah.
Sometime when you would have felt that, oh God, where am I heading and how do I, and what motivated you and
3-4 big incidents happened during this because it's always been a roller coaster ride, right? It is not easy. There are some very happy moments and there was also very challenging moments. The happy moments are when I first started the company, the first order was given by numeric UPSC CEO Chellapan sir. So he's a good friend of mine. So it was an easy order because he wanted to encourage me. But I think that encouragement was required for us to set up the foundation. So I think around 15 lakhs or something like that, he said, this is the first order. So that's the first customer we got. But it came little easy. But I
and how many employees you started with?
It was like 10,
10.
7 people, very small, right? But the first hard-earned customer was a company called Rane Group in Chennai. It was a 1,000 crore company at that time. Now it's a 10,000 crore company. So we made a product and we went and showed the demo. We went and said to the CIO of Rane Group, this is what it can do. And all. He said he gave me one employee onboarding form. Right? And then he said, this is what I want to automate. Can you do this? I said, okay, sir, we'll try. And then around 3 o'clock, we went to him, knocked his door, and then he said, sir, did you forget something? I said, no, we wanted to show you a demo. No, morning only I gave the spec. How can you do a demo in the evening? Because that's our product. So
Absolutely.
It is a low-code kind of a platform where you can put definitions and put a button, it will build a software. You don't need to really code. So we are the pioneers in the low-code paradigm.
Okay.
So, and then we demoed it to him. He was like flabbergasted. It's a 3-month project. You're talking about in 3 hours, you're done it, right? It's just impossible. And he said, I'm buying this instantly. And he said, how much is the price? I said, $25,000. This was in 2006, 2007. We quoted him $25,000. And he negotiated here and there. And he gave us the first order for 11 lakh something.
And it's a
real
hard-earned,
thing, right?
it's really impressive. And the word of mouth would have spread from there.
And then we got Unilever, then we got Citibank, then we got Nestle, then we got all the big brands during that time after that. So, but that was a big turning point.
Yeah, and what was your inspiration? See, because the 90s, when the Y2K boom and other things brought software to the country, and India really became a software location.
Correct.
It was primarily services,
Correct.
be it TCS, Infosys, Wipro, name it. Any company was offering services,
Correct.
and they were not primarily product companies,
Correct.
right? So, what was your inspiration to start a product company right at the word go?
It is exactly to change this narrative. See, just for the audience, see, software, generally we use the word software in a very loose terms, right? But software, like a Wipro or a Cognizant or a TCS, they are not software companies. They are services companies. It's like if you buy, I'm just giving you a crude example. If you buy an air conditioner or a washing machine, there are a bunch of people who come and install it and set it up and make sure it works. Same thing happens in software. So the people who make software are people like Microsoft, SAP, Oracle. These are the guys who make software. And people like TCS, Cognizant, all these people, they take their software and provide services and implement those software. Of course, they make some custom software as well.
Right.
And India was predominantly the service provider mindset, right? In the service provider mindset, you don't own the IP. You are built for time, which means if you have to wake up every day and go to work. If you don't wake up every day and go to work, you don't get paid. But in a software paradigm, you get IP. When you get IP, you don't have to, like once you build IP works for you while you are sleeping. So that's a huge paradigm change. And the value for a services company is only 2x of their revenue. Like for example, if I earn 1 crore and if I have to sell my company, it's worth 2 crores if you're a services company. But if it's a product company, if I earn 1 crore and if I want to sell my company, it is probably worth 10 crores. So the product companies are worth 5 times to 10 times, depending upon the product you are in, when compared to services company. And we want to change this narrative. We want India, especially Tamil Nadu, to own IP, intellectual property, build products. Why can't we create a Microsoft or a Google-like company in Tamil Nadu? So that is the vision with which we started Kissflow actually.
And any incident or an anecdote where you really felt down and a very challenging situation?
2007-8 time frame, there was a huge subprime
financial
meltdown in the US. So, and that financial meltdown happened throughout the world, and even in India, everybody stopped buying anything, and they got panic and fear, and so suddenly all the projects dried down, right? And remember, we were selling software, which means if you don't sell, you don't get money. Unlike subscription, the beauty about subscription model is, in SaaS model, even if you don't sell any new software, till yesterday, whatever you sold, those guys will keep paying you, right? So that's great. So currently, we don't face that problem. That time, every month we have to sell. If you don't make sales, you don't have money. So we ran out of money. And literally, like, there are some 40 people working, and we don't have money to pay. And 1 month I maxed out all my credit card and paid the salary. Nobody knew. And 2 months like that, it went on for 3-4 months. And after that, I literally ran out of money. So I had to sell my car.
Oh.
So I had like Innova car at the time. So I sold my car. I got some 5 lakhs and again paid the salaries for that month. And after that month, I didn't know what I'm doing because I lost everything. I kept my wife's jewels and all in bank, got the money. Like literally no assets are there in the family. Luckily, on that month after that I sold the Innova car, we got a big order.
Okay.
So after that, things started moving positively. So we sort of recovered from that. So that was like a low, challenging moment. But never I felt like I made a wrong decision. I should have stayed. Because when I left my job in Selectica, that was the last job I had, my monthly salary was 1,65,000. This was in 2003.
It's a lot of money at that point.
In 2003, I was a director of a product team, engineering, and monthly salary was 1,65,000. Even today, 1,65,000 is a lot of money after 20 years, right?
Right.
But I didn't realize that is the trade-off I'm making at that point in time, because my passion to do what I'm doing was higher. So, but I never felt bad that I made a wrong decision or anything like that. I felt always happy. Yeah, yeah.
But now shifting from your personal journey and experience, which is fantastic, it's heartening to know that you were a 12th pass out and started doing things on your own and learning things on your own. Worked for companies, learned it on your own, started teaching at such a young age, and then starting a software company, going through ups and downs, and now top 10 companies employing more than 500 people easily.
Close to 500.
Yeah. So that's a wonderful journey. Now it will be inspirational for the viewers, I'm sure. But now shifting focus to a couple of global things, right? You're based on your experience. First, on the business side. So, do you think the Indian ecosystem still values top companies more than small and medium enterprises, or things are changing?
No, I think first I want to clarify, there are three types of companies. There is big companies, and there are small and medium companies, and there are startups.
Right.
See, lot of times startups are bucketed under small and medium companies because they look small in the beginning. But startups are not fitting into the SME category. In fact, government makes a lot of incorrect decision by putting startups under small and medium group. It's not correct. So startup starts here, and if it becomes successful, it becomes like a big company.
Right.
If it's moderately successful, it becomes a small and medium company. If it doesn't successful, it dies. So it's not like startup is a small and medium companies. Fortunately, 10 years ago, 15 years ago when I started, the biggest problem my employees had was, sir, பொண்ணு கிடைக்க மாட்டேங்குது. Meaning, we're not getting, my parents are saying you need to work in a big company to get married.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest problem.
Right.
There's nothing else. People are passionate, excited, everything. The real problem is, how do I get married? Because the girl's parents want somebody to work in an established firm. But in the last 4-5 years, this has completely changed. The Tamil Nadu ecosystem, parents especially, understand the difference between a big company and a startup. Right? So they do understand that. But they know there's something called small and medium companies, they differentiate. So if it's a startup, it is fine. So that change has happened. But it is still not fully there. There are like 50% of the people, or maybe say 60-70% of the people still think like I want to work for a big company. But previously it used to be 5%, 2% of the people only will recommend startups. But now that number is like 25-30%. But maybe in another 5 years, this will be like a majority. I think that transition has already happened.
And more and more people are getting into product companies in India now, you feel?
Yeah. Meaning there are in SaaS. So I am also part of SaaS Bhumi, which is another non-profit entity, which I am part of. I'm a co-founder of it, along with Girish and Krish and Avinash and Manav and 4 other people. This is the largest SaaS community in India.
Okay.
Run by the founders. Right? It's a free, volunteer-driven, no fee, nothing. Right? So peer-to-peer learning. We already have 4,000 to 5,000 product companies in SaaS itself.
Okay.
So we have come a long way, but our goal is to get to like 100,000.
Okay.
Because there are 100,000 IT services companies in India. Small, medium, big, everything put together.
Right.
But SaaS is only 5,000 now. So we have at least another 10 times to grow. Yeah.
So now shifting focus to one of your other passion, which is the Dream Tamil Nadu, think tank. So tell us something about that and what made you take it as
so actually, I always say that every individual have to model their life in 3 dimensions. Right? One is your personal dimension, what makes you happy, yourself, your family, and stuff like that. The second one is your professional dimension. A lot of the time, 70-80% of people are stuck on the personal dimension itself.
Yes.
Right? And in fact, their professional dimension becomes a means to fulfill their personal dimension, and they really don't have so much professional attachment to the professional dimension. They see that as a money-making model to fulfill their personal aspirations. That is how 80% of people's life goes, right? And Another 10% of people have clear personal and professional goals. There are very, very few people who have personal, professional, and social dimension. And I think there are hardly 2% of people who have these three things clearly figured out. And I actually wanted to contribute consciously towards social dimension. And my idea was not like doing some, philanthropy or buying some, sewing machines or giving some handicap thing or going to a birthday and giving, on my birthday and giving some food through some orphanage. These are all doesn't motivate me at all. So I wanted to contribute something more fundamental, which is progressive as well as very long lasting and which is little audacious. And that's where I was thinking at what can I do for the state? I'm more passionate about Tamil Nadu state. So I felt like I'm good at entrepreneurship and economics and financials and all that pieces together and strategy and all of that. So I thought, what will be a vision for Tamil Nadu? If Tamil Nadu is today, what can Tamil Nadu become next 20 years from now?
Right.
Or 10 years from now? And that is where we came up with the $1 trillion dream for Tamil Nadu. So we were the first one to put out in 2019.
Right.
And luckily we were able to rally behind that idea.
Yes.
Big way, and I supported us. And 2021 we were able to influence the manifesto of DMK government. We also presented to ADMK government, except that they didn't really take it. Right, so a lot of people think that I'm like from the DMK background. I mean, I'm not.
Right.
Right, so, but I'm more passionate about Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
And the growth of Tamil Nadu and taking
power.
Yeah, we have to support the government. I'm not here to criticize. Like we can spend an entire lifetime criticizing people and do nothing about it. And I rather wanted to take a completely opposite view. I wanted to take the given as given, and given all the circumstances that we are in, how can we make still progress from that?
So and I remember you discussing with you when you were presenting this, and you were talking about this in other platforms and all. But has COVID kind of set it back by a few years, or we have recovered from that? Do you know?
COVID, actually, one interesting fact is entire world was doing negative.
Right.
Tamil Nadu alone was doing +1 GDP.
Right.
In GDP terms, including in India, every other state was doing negative. China was doing negative. US was doing negative. Every economy was doing negative. Tamil Nadu alone was doing +1 positive. Meaning Tamil Nadu is one of the very resilient economies, because we are not just focused. Like if you take Karnataka, it's focused primarily on IT. Tamil Nadu, if you take, we have IT, we have automobile, we have textile, we have leather, we have heavy equipment manufacturing, we have automobile spare parts, we have clusters like like this curtain clusters, we have furniture clusters. Meaning we have like a very deep infrastructure, and even one thing fails, something else can come back. So I think Tamil Nadu is a very, very strong economy actually, and very diversified economy, very protected from very sectoral issues or challenges that comes up.
But then what do you think are the challenges we are facing in converting this into a reality? Where I mean, there's always hope for improvement, and
the biggest challenge I feel Tamil Nadu has done is Tamil Nadu is the most developed industrial economy in India. We have 40,000 plus factories.
Okay.
The nearest one is Maharashtra. Oftentimes people think Maharashtra is more industrialized. No, Maharashtra has only 28,000 factories.
Okay.
Tamil Nadu has 40,000 plus factories. The number of people who work in factories, Tamil Nadu is higher than Maharashtra, higher than Gujarat. 43% of industrial workforce are women workforce in Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Meaning they not in Tamil Nadu. The entire India's workforce, 43% of women are in India, are in Tamil Nadu.
Okay. Okay.
Entire India's.
Okay.
So that is the characteristics of Tamil Nadu, right? What is stopping us from going to the next level is we have produced a lot of engineering and arts and science and college. Like 10 lakh people get graduated from ITI to all those things. We have not really created enough jobs for them, and we are expecting them to an engineering graduate to go and work in a baniyan factory in Tirupur or Coimbatore and pay 12,000 rupees. He's not willing to do that. So that is the aspiration that Tamil Nadu has to fulfill, for which we need to create entrepreneurship, because government cannot create jobs. Only businesses can create jobs. And who can create businesses? Entrepreneurs only can create businesses. And that is why part of Dream Tamil Nadu, we also started Idea Patrai, which is to help screw up the entrepreneurship in a big way across Tamil Nadu. In all the colleges, we have touched already 400 founders in 1.5 years.
But does entrepreneurship come naturally to people in the sense
You don't need, see, it's like a train.
and availability of credit and other
If you
things?
take a train, you need only one engine, and
Right.
it can drag 20 compartments.
Right.
I don't expect in a class of 50, I don't expect all the 50 people to be entrepreneurs.
Understood.
One person can become,
Understood.
or two people can become. In a class of 50, if two people can become, that's a huge success to me.
Understood.
We are not expecting the entire population to become entrepreneurs.
Understood.
We don't need that. In fact, it's a problem if they become.
Yeah,
Who will buy? Who will work?
Yeah, yeah.
So we need our ratio is like 0.01 or something.
Okay.
It's too low.
Understood. Understood.
So
Understood.
we need 1%,
Understood.
not more than that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
so that is all we need. So if we can do that, then automatically those guys will give the jobs for the remaining 50 people who are in that.
Absolutely. 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 So it was wonderful discussing about your personal experiences, your life journey, your entrepreneurship, and also the social dimension on which you're working.
Yeah.
I'm sure the viewers will
Thank you.
benefit a lot by listening to this, and wish you all the best
Thank you.
in your personal, professional, and social endeavors.
Thank you very much. It was wonderful talking to you. It
Thank
was
you.
very,
Thank you.
very nice.
Thank
you.
Thank you.